Here we go. The episode begins with a bunch of guys building a house. What on earth? The guy in charge of building this house is the dad from Hot Rod, right? That's totally that guy. Oh my god, I love Hot Rod. Anywho, we see a bunch of guys carrying huge pieces of wood, and then we see that the Hound is here. I guess this is a big deal because they devoted the entire cold open to showing him working for Hot Rod Dad. This must be the first time we see that he's alive since young sad girl left him for dead in season 4. So was the Hound gone for all of season 5? Because if so, good for him, he got to take a year off during the worst season of the show. We cut to later in the day and all the builders are taking a break and eating. Hot Rod Dad brings the Hound a drink and talks about how when he found the Hound, he thought he was dead. Hot Rod Dad is wearing a necklace of the star that represents the 7, so I'm guessing he's some sort of missionary going around building churches everywhere. We cut to Margarine wearing a crown talking to Old Homeless Sparrow. They talk about the Bible and other godly things for a few minutes, and then Old Homeless Sparrow takes a sharp left turn and asks Margarine why she hasn't had sex with Justin Bieber yet. Mind your own business, you pervert. Margarine says that she has no desire to bump uglies with Justin Bieber, probably because he's got the face of a 13-year-old. And Old Homeless Sparrow tells her that even if she doesn't want to have sex with him, she has to so that she can have babies. Hey, jerk, why don't you go have sex with him if it's so important to you? She's clearly not into it, and you seem like you really want to get Justin Bieber laid. Then Old Homeless Sparrow tells Margarine that she needs to teach Calm Woman to stop being a sinner. And we cut to Calm Woman getting annoyed because Mean Nun Lady won't leave her and Margarine alone to talk. Calm Woman is madder than the cow disease that Margarine has become a brainwashed Bible-humping fanatic, and she wants her to go back to Highgarden immediately. Then Margarine holds Calm Woman's hand and you can hear a paper crumpling as if she's slipping her a note. And Margarine tells her to go back to Highgarden. Calm Woman walks away and once she's alone, she opens up the paper that Margarine slipped to her. And on it is a picture of a flower. What? Why are we playing Pictionary? Hey Grandma, I know I'm acting like a total lunatic right now, but here's a picture of a flower to ease your mind. Don't just write, I'm faking it, or I'm still on your side on the paper. Just write the words, hey Grandma, it's me, I'm still okay. I guess this flower has some significance because Calm Woman seems happy when she sees it. But what if she looked at it and was just like, what is this thing supposed to be? We cut to Bastard King trying to recruit the wildlings to help him fight Angry Eyes and get Winterfell back. A few of the wildlings, like this dude that looks like Redbeard 20 years from now, don't want to help him, but the actual Redbeard tells them that Bastard King died for them, so they need to pay him back and do the same for him. Finally, the huge giant guy says that he's with Bastard King, and then old Redbeard says that the wildlings will help. We cut to Calm Woman just absolutely serving the tea to Short-Haired Queen. She tells her that all the bad stuff that's happening is Short-Haired Queen's fault, and Short-Haired Queen agrees. She says that they need to work together to get rid of the Starhead religious fanatics, and Calm Woman is like, oh, so now you want my help? After you allowed for my granddaughter and grandson to go to jail? No way, Jose, I'm out of here. Then she tells Short-Haired Queen that she should leave too, and Short-Haired Queen says that she'll never leave. Calm Woman asks, what are you gonna do, kill everybody by yourself? And Short-Haired Queen quietly is like, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Maybe I'll do that in a few episodes. We cut to Handsome Man in Armor leading a huge army, and they come across a group of soldiers trying to seize this castle. Oh, this castle belongs to Mama Stark's family, I think, because Old Grizzled Man and Bad Aim Guy are both here. These guys are trying to convince Old Grizzled Man to surrender the castle, and they threaten to kill Bad Aim Guy if they don't. I guess these dirty looking guys that are trying to seize the castle are Filch's men, because one of them says that he killed Mama Stark. Old Grizzled Man is just like, yeah, whatever, kill him if you want, I don't care, and he walks away. Bad Aim Guy must feel like total garbage right now. Handsome Man in Armor walks over and is like, hey guys, you really suck at this, I'm gonna take over now. And Filch's men are like, you're right, we suck. Please help. Handsome Man in Armor tells Greasy Mullet Guy to tell Old Grizzled Man that he wants to talk to him. And then we cut to Bastard King and Red-Haired Queen talking to this child who I guess is the queen of a place called Bear Island. Bear Island sounds like a really fantastic idea for a reality TV show where a bunch of husky, hairy gay dudes have to spend 8 weeks on an island trying to find love. Red-Haired Queen tries to compliment this child queen, but she's not having it. She's all business and she asks what they're doing here. Bastard King requests her allegiance in the upcoming fight with Angry Eyes, and the child queen says that Bastard King and Red-Haired Queen aren't real Starks. Man, it would rock so hard to have a 10-year-old kid running the country. Like, obviously this girl seems super smart and serious, but if we had a child running the United States, we would have like a national holiday for jumping in puddles and throwing mud. Bastard King's bodyguard steps forward and he's a real smooth talker. He basically says that as long as Angry Eyes holds Winterfell, the North is divided in the fight against the Dead Dudes and King Iceface. For whatever reason, the Child Queen seems to like Bastard King's bodyguard. I guess he just has a way with royal children. First he was best friends with Two-Face, and now he's got the trust of the Child Queen. She agrees to help fight against Angry Eyes, and Bastard King asks how many men she can spare, and she says 62. 62 dudes. That's cheap, all of that for 62 guys. We cut to Handsome Man in Armor walking up to Old Grizzled Man's castle. They lower the bridge and Old Grizzled Man comes out and talks to him. Handsome Man in Armor tells him that the war is over and the castle belongs to Filch's family, so he needs to leave immediately. Old Grizzled Man says that as long as he's alive, the war is not over. He says he was born in this castle and he's ready to die in it. Old Grizzled Man is cool as hell. My gosh. Handsome Man in Armor is like, why'd you even come out here to talk to me if you don't want to make a deal? And Old Grizzled Man says, I wanted to meet you in person, get the measure of you. And I'm disappointed. Bam! If I was Handsome Man in Armor right now, I would just start crying. This super cool older dude just told you you're a disappointment? That's like if Jeff Goldblum came up to me and was like, hey, you're kind of an annoying little baby. We cut to Bastard King trying to convince another house to help him in the fight against Angry Eyes. This guy is wearing a cloak that looks entirely made of pubes. Pube Cloak asks Bastard King who's in his army so far, and Bastard King tells him it's mostly wildlings. Pube Cloak hates wildlings and he laughs and walks away. Then Red-Haired Queen tells him that his house is pledged to House Stark, and he gets right in her face and tells her that they used to serve House Stark, but now House Stark is dead. Everybody in this episode's just getting completely pooped on. We cut to Green-Eyed Guy looking crazy. His sister is sitting next to him just making out with some naked lady and telling him to relax. Then she makes a joke about how Green-Eyed Guy isn't interested in women anymore because at some point in this insane show, he loses his penis. I still have no idea how or why, but somewhere along the way, he lost his bits. They start talking about how their uncle, Confident Guy, is hunting them down, but Green-Eyed Guy's sister doesn't seem too concerned. She forces Green-Eyed Guy to drink a big cup of beer and tells him that if he can't act like the cocky Green-Eyed Guy we knew in the first couple seasons, he might as well kill himself. You know, like how siblings talk to each other. We cut to Bastard King and Red-Haired Queen arguing whether or not they should attack Winterfell now or wait to recruit more men. Finally, Bastard King just yells at her and says they're gonna go fight with the army that they have. But then we cut to later that night and Red-Haired Queen is writing a letter. This must be how she gets Rat Assistant and his army to come help them at the battle in a couple of episodes. We cut to Hot Rod Dad telling a story about how when he was younger, he was a thief and a murderer. And after killing one child, he felt so much guilt that he had to change his ways. And he makes direct eye contact with the Hound as he says that. Dude, learn some subtlety. You just put the Hound on blast in front of all these people. Then a few guys on horses ride up. They ask what Hot Rod Dad and his little Bible camp are doing here. And once they learn that they have no gold or anything to offer, they ride away and say, the night is dark and full of terrors. Which I'm pretty sure is a Lord of Light thing, right? Later that day, the Hound tells Hot Rod Dad that he doesn't trust those guys and that they're from the Brotherhood, which I think is who the Hound ends up teaming up with later. He says they should be prepared to fight them, but Hot Rod Dad says that he's done fighting and he walks away. We cut to young sad girl trying to book a ship back to Westeros, but this gruff guy says that she can't afford it. Then she throws a couple of bags of money at him and confidently says, I'm in charge. I'm going with you on your boat. Wow, confidence and money. I really wonder what having either of those things is like. Young sad girl wanders off and admires the butt of this statue. Then an old woman walks over and you already know this is gonna be somebody in a mask. Any scene with young sad girl where a stranger enters the frame is definitely someone in one of those freaky masks. And I'm right. It's third person guy's assistant and she takes out a knife and stabs young sad girl in the stomach like 5 times. Young sad girl shoves her away and jumps off the bridge. What? Why are these two enemies? Like, I guess I knew that third person guy's assistant has never really liked young sad girl, but I didn't think she would ever straight up try to kill her. Also, how is young sad girl gonna survive this? She got stabbed in the stomach 5 times. She's got more holes in her than frickin' Swiss cheese. She emerges from the water and is bleeding like crazy. She climbs out and walks along the street, bleeding and shivering, and for some reason, nobody's helping her. Also, everybody has these weird side braids. Is that supposed to mean something? We cut back to the Hound chopping wood. He hears some screaming in the distance and runs towards it. When he arrives back at Hot Rod Dad's camp, he sees that everybody is dead. Those Brotherhood guys must have come back and ambushed them. And then, hanging from the unfinished church, is Hot Rod Dad. The Hound looks super angry. He grabs an axe and then he walks away. And then the episode ends. Oh great. The Hound was ready to settle down and be a big sweetie and help build churches, but now you killed all of his friends and he's gonna have to go around killing people again. Also, young sad girl definitely has the most confusing storyline right now. I know that honor used to belong to Green-Eyed Guy, and I still am very confused about the whereabouts of his penis, but young sad girl, every scene I see her in now, she's just doing bizarre stuff. She just got stabbed in the stomach 5 times. That never comes up again later, I don't think. How is she alive? Why did nobody help her? Why did everybody have braids? Why am I yelling? That episode was great. All of those storylines seemed super fresh to me, which is surprising because I've seen a lot of this show, and I actually got confused, which doesn't happen as much anymore. So I'll give this episode an 8 out of 10. Let's reach into these boxes and see which episode I'm gonna watch next. Season 1, Episode 8. Season 5, Episode 1. Season 2, Episode 7. Season 6, Episode 5. Season 3, Episode 4. So those are the options for which episode I'm gonna watch next. There should be a poll right here, a little box. Go ahead and click on that and vote for which episode you'd like me to watch. Here's a graphic to show you which episodes I've already seen to help you make your decision. I know what you guys are thinking. Thank God he's done talking about Game of Thrones stuff, so now we can finally listen to him give shoutouts to his Patreon supporters. So let's jump into it. Phoebe Green. Phoebe Green? What were your parents' last names? Blue and Yellow? Because they made green? Not off to a great start, Phoebe, but I do want to thank you for supporting me on Patreon. Byron Bose. Byron? Hey, are you an NSYNC fan? Bye, Byron. I'm really sorry, Byron. You're probably more of a Backstreet Boys fan, because your initials are BB and their initials are BB. I'm sorry I'm talking about boy bands with you, Byron. But thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. Lanzinator. Lanzinator, are you a robot? You got a crazy robot name. I kind of wish that I was a robot, honestly. I mean, you never get hungry. You have an encyclopedic knowledge of everything. You live forever. And best of all, you can't get sad because you can't feel emotion. If you are a robot, Lanzinator, beep boop beep bop boop beep bop. You know what I'm saying. Thank you so much for the support. Heavyset Gay. That's the best. You did it. You really cracked the code here. You have the best name on Patreon. Heavyset Gay. You would probably be a really good contestant on Bear Island, that new show that I'm developing. Thank you, Heavyset Gay, for the support. If you want to support me on Patreon, there's a link in the description below, and I'm going to put a button at the end of this video. I'm almost out of patrons to thank, so now would be a really good time if you want to hear a shout out to jump in there and support me. If you want, only if you want to. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I would never force, I'm your best friend. Last but not least, I was on a podcast this week. So if you want to listen to me talk more for whatever reason, I was on my friend Katie's podcast called Harry Potter and the Hot Takes. Especially if you're a Harry Potter fan, you should definitely listen to it. We talk about how it'd be super easy for all those horny magic teenagers to hook up all over Hogwarts. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'm going to put a link in the description below, or you can look up Harry Potter and the Hot Takes on iTunes or on your podcast app. Okay, bye!